she's got a 33.7 for Barnhouse on the right. Hyman 35.1. It is slower, yeah, but substantially slower, and we can see where a lot of that was right there at the start. So hopefully that was just a missed push button of a gear shift or something like that, and nothing terminal. Eric heading over there now to decompress and not decompress. What is that word? Figure out what the heck's going on. How about that? Jamie Jost on the right, 36.0. Debrief. That would be a debrief. Yeah. 36.0. Jamie Yost on the right. Super Rudy red light. Oh yeah, this one's way too bad. 0.3 something reaction. Come on, Sue. 34.6, good time, but yeah, leaving like yesterday on that run. Lorian Feiner also with a penalty of her own with a +1. 10th slower on the track, so no harm, no foul for Lorian. And then Kyung Wooten, and then we move into B Street. A pair of Porsches on the line, and you barely even hear them launch, as opposed to the street prepared car of Super Rudy variety. These ones I couldn't even hear them. Kyung Wooten 39.2 for Kyung, and that is slower by a couple 3 seconds for Kyung as we bring down Ladies 1. So at the top of Ladies 1, snuck in there, I didn't see this, Amanda Hahn by, I'm not sure what's going on with that. We'll check on that in a little bit, but as it shows, Amanda Hahn with a 3-second lead over Beth Strelnick's. Not sure what's up with that, but that's what we're seeing at the moment on the scoring computer there. Yeah, 87.9, I believe you're on site, is the radio station, 87.9. So if you're listening back there in the paddock and you want to hear it, you can hear everything I say here on your FM dial. All right, back to B Street. Let's get some times here. 40.3, Chris Lowe starting us off on the left, right side, +1. David Salas, 38.6, both of them in Porsche Boxsters of the grayish variety. Silver on the left and gray on the right. They sure look the same to me. Probably one shade difference there. And Honda CRX on the right of Elizabeth Woudenberg, one of a second driver out of L3. Jeff Jansen, left side, back to B Street, 36.9. This often happens where we get a mix-up here. A couple of different classes. We get some second drivers mixed in. We get some smaller classes mixed in. And this is one of those groupings right now. So we've got 3 B Street cars. We've got 1 second driver L3. We got a couple of SF. What SF is street category cars. Starting off on a auspicious note with a 477 red light outside. He's yet to finish. Actually, he's coming through right now. There he is. So 38.9 scratch time, but red light start. And out there now, SSR, as mentioned, this is one of the classes to watch. I love these guys. Always great competition, a lot of good camaraderie. And Newman on the right, Snyder. This is Big Mike Snyder, if you know what I mean. If you're from the East Coast, you know exactly what I mean. There's Little Mike Snyder, too. This is Big Mike Snyder on the left. And Newman back first, 34.9. Left side is 35.2. No indexes involved here. So heads up scratch times. Meanwhile, Vivek Goel on the right in the C5 Z06. Up here from Austin, Texas. Good reaction. 560 reaction time for Vivek. Brandon Davis on the left, driving his C5, and Vivek back first. by half second. 34.3 for Vivek Goel. Left side for Davis, 34.8. And again, I will announce some of these actual standings after each of the drivers gets 2 runs under their belts. All right, on course now, we've got David Salas on the left in a Boxster. We've got Chris Lowe on the right, also in a Boxster. Those are silver and gray. And then we got our mixed bag here just taking off. We've got Jeff Jansen in the vet out of B Street. We've got Elizabeth Wiltenberg out of L3 on the left in a, what is this, STS car. It's an STS car running L3, and I believe it's because they're running off an SMF index, but I'm not 100% positive on that, but I believe that is the case. I'm sorry, no, they're running on the STS index. Never mind. That's something else they're doing in Detroit. Never mind, I was confused. All right, who's in here? Let's see, Salas 39.1, Lowe 41.0 in our Boxster pairing. And right after them, we've now got Jansen in the Corvette with a 36.6 in the B Street Corvette, and then in the CRX out of L3, Elizabeth Wiltenberg with a 39.9. And then we've got our Street F cars back out there. And on the line, Granger on the left, red light, just a barely 4.81 reaction. That's 200ths shy of perfect. And perfect reaction time, the first one gets a prize. 5.00 is what you want to see show up on the tree as opposed to 4.99. And if you do that, the first guy or lady who does that gets a magical prize. It's a free entry of $50 or some money or something like that. It's worth doing. 38.2 for Granger. Finishing off on the right side, he's got a red light on this run. Once again, Shift B workers, go check in. Shift B workers, please check in if you're here on site. All right, let's get you some placings here. Early in Street F, we got Daniel Burge over Trevor Jones over Greg Reno. Greg always fast, but he's got a cone on one of those runs. So we expect to see him moving up here later on as we move back to SSR Super Stock R comps on the fastest production cars made. These are cars that really get the most out of those R comps, and glad to see these guys continuing to battle it out as the categories have gone through some revamping over this past year, and these guys kind of maintaining it. Newman left side 34.4, Michael Snyder on the right 34.3. And here comes Vivek Goel, 33.9, good time. First into the 33s is Vivek. Unfortunately, tags on doing it. Smoking reaction, 5.25. Good job there, Vivek. Brandon Davis, right side, 34.5 for Brandon. And that puts Brandon into the lead here in the early going. And we still got some fast drivers that are seconds. We got Strano and Pilata waiting back there to jump into the seat on those warm tires. So these guys up here right now had to run at least one run on cold tires. Whoa, big spin through the finish. That's Chris Lowe spinning after the finish. Shades of Rob Faulkner for you old timers. Spinning through the finish was his trademark. Chris, unfortunately, with a red light, so I guess he was just testing the boundaries there. 39.9 to scratch. David Salas, meanwhile, on the right, 39.0, and that's a nice improvement as he cleans up a cone and finds a little bit of time on course. Next two to finish, right side with a red light, 4.90. Boy, that's a heartbreaker. 1/100th of a second too early for her. 39.0 the time. Left side for Jansen, he finds 9/10 of a second does Jeff Jansen in the Corvette. 9/10 of a second. Alrighty, Granger tagging the cone on the right as he's approaching the finish line in that venerable Acura Integra. He's been running that car for years and years and years, and no one has stolen it yet, which is amazing. So he must have the garage double locked with a full-time security patrol. 38.8 the time for Granger, and that would have been the 10th slower on course. Left side running on a post, 39.1 for 10. Puts him just out of the trophies. He had a couple of red lights earlier he's working on, so I believe if he cleans up on the right, he will be right up there with the leaders. Newman, 497.
That was a way better reaction. Yeah, it was way better.
So just a little antsy at the lights as James Newman on the right, 34.1, good time. But unfortunately, that 3 thousandths of a second too early as James Newman. Left side, Big Mike Snyder finds 8/10 on the left. And Big Mike into the lead right now. He's been co-driving with Sam Strano for as long as I can remember, sharing all kinds of different cars over the years, different classes, Mustangs, and both street prepared and stock Corvettes, all kinds of good stuff. All right, Newman upgraded the 2 cones on that run, plus the red light. So, hey, if you're going to go for it, go for the gusto. And James is definitely wanting to go big or go home. Vivek OL, 34.3, good time there for Vivek. Matching, wow, to 1,000. Vivek OL, 2 runs, 1,000th of a second apart on the right-hand side. Yeah, Mr. Consistency. That's how we do it in Texas. 34.2, Brandon Davis on the left. 1/10 faster than Vivek's time, and Brandon Davis now into the lead. Just a couple thousandths in front of Big Mike. So it's Davis and Snyder, your leaders now in SSR. Still awaiting second drivers there. Back to B Street. David Salas now finds 4/10 of a second on the left. Chris Lowe finding 9/10 of a second on the right. 38.6 and 4.0 the scratch times. So both of those drivers improving. Jansen, your leader in that class. Salas now second based on that effort. As we move back to our mixed bag, we've got Jansen, B Street right. We've got Elizabeth Wildenberg left out of L3. And let's see, Wildenberg finds half a second, and Jansen finds just shy of a 10th. So Wildenberg, the big benefit there. But Jansen in front of Salas on that run by a boatload. Many seconds there in that Class B Street. Through the lights, Matthew Granger, man, watching that car heel over is just amazing there. 38.2 body roll special. Not liking that back and forth steering effort through the finish, but it is effective.